Hey guys, this is Caroline from Caroline Juster Fitness, back at you with my weekly Facebook Live. Today I want to talk to you guys about perfectionism and why perfectionism is probably getting in the way of you getting the results that you want when you're chasing your health and fitness goals, and possibly when you're chasing your other goals as well. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background about why this issue is important to me and kind of my backstory there. And then I'm going to give you some examples of specific things that I see people doing all the time. And then I'm going to wrap it up at the end. So just a little bit about me. I have always been sort of a perfectionist. So when I was in high school, I was always the person that was really trying. And let me say that I'm not necessarily proud about this stuff. It's just the way that I was. So I was always the person that was trying to set the curve on the exam. I was trying to finish first. I was trying to get all A pluses in my classes. A's weren't good enough. In music, I was always trying to win first chair at all my auditions. I was always trying to get the most accolades, the most awards, and I really chased that pursuit of perfection. And this caused a lot of problems for me in other areas of my life. So I was a swimmer for most of my life, not necessarily a very fast swimmer. And I was certainly not the fastest person on swim team. I was never on the varsity team. I was never in the fast lane during practice. And I just started to hate swimming because I couldn't be the best, because I saw other people doing better than me. I saw people having more success with less effort. And that really pissed me off because I always had to be the best at everything. And so eventually what happened was I just started to hate swim team. I hated being around other swimmers, with a few exceptions of people that were my friends from outside of swimming. And so I quit because I couldn't be the best. And this caused me to gain a lot of weight. I stopped exercising pretty much altogether. And it was after I quit swimming that I really gained a lot of weight. So that was problematic. If I had stayed in sports and if I'd been more open to not doing, maybe just swimming, not being the best swimmer ever, I probably could have kept some of that weight off. But anyways, perfectionism followed me into college. I had a lot of trouble at Northwestern, which is a super, super competitive music school. I was no longer the best person in the studio, even like in the middle of the studio, to be honest. And that really, it created a lot of problems for me mentally and emotionally. I just wasn't able to effectively deal with the stress of not doing as well as I thought I should do. And then when I started to lose weight when I was 19, it created additional problems for me. And this is what's most relevant for you guys. I started following these really strict diets. And I was reading a lot and really devouring information about fitness and training and nutrition. And I had these ideas in my head that if I couldn't eat in this certain, very strict, particular way, that I would never get results, that I would gain all the weight back. If I didn't train in this certain way or certain style, that I was totally wasting my time. And what happened was ultimately, life would get in the way. There would be stressful days. I wouldn't have access to certain types of food. I'd have to eat outside my really narrow eating window. So I'd break a rule, and I would freak out subsequently because I'd say, oh shit, I totally blew it. I might as well now just eat whatever I want. I might as well eat all of the forbidden foods the rest of the day because I totally screwed this up. I'm such a mess. If I can't do it 100% perfect, I might as well not do it at all. So I would go on these really epic binges because when I didn't hit my perfectionist standards, I was really upset by that and I couldn't handle it. So I would overreact with overeating and things like that. I think this is a story that a lot of you can probably relate to. I see it a lot with my clients. I call it the all or nothing approach, where if you can't live up to your super high standards, or you break one rule, or you go off the rails a little bit, you say, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna eat everything in sight. I'm gonna eat all these foods, even though I don't really want them, even though my initial infraction was actually relatively small compared to the damage that you're doing with the binge. So this is one way that perfectionism gets us in trouble when we're trying to chase a health and fitness goal. You have a super, super strict set of rules or a standard that you put on a pedestal, and you just can't live up to it all the time. We are all human. The people that I'm working with, none of them are professional athletes or elite competitors. They're all high-achieving professionals in some other industry, so they're not spending all of their time, their focus, and their schedule isn't completely catered around this eating and training plan. So you need to take a step back if this sounds like you, and you need to accept that you do not need to follow a perfect plan or even any plan perfectly to get results. So let me say that again. You don't need to follow a perfect plan to get results. You will get much better results if you get a plan, whether an eating plan or a training plan, that you can stick with, that works with your busy life, that you can, doesn't leave you feeling beat up, doesn't leave you feeling like you have no plan to navigate social situations. If you can stick with that plan and do it consistently, you will get way better results than trying to chase the perfect plan, messing up, and going on a binge, or taking 2 weeks off of the gym because you missed 1 or 2 workouts and you're just going to start over at the start of the month. Like, if you think about this stuff, it makes perfect sense. But take a step back. Don't chase the perfect plan. Another way people get themselves into trouble, this is in regards to training. Let's say you were an athlete in high school, or you had a lot of lifting experience in the past. You have a certain idea of what kind of weight you should be lifting, what exercises you should be doing, and you haven't been in the gym in a while. You go back to the gym, you put the same weight on the bar, and of course you're not going to be able to lift that much weight. But your ego tells you, oh, well, I used to be able to do this, so I should still be able to do it, right? And if I can't do it, then I'm a failure, or I have lost all of my progress and I might as well give up. Okay, I see this a lot with former athletes, people that were football players in high school, or whatever sport it was, and then they come back to the gym and they can't do what they used to be able to do, so they say, well, I might as well just give up. So again, if you think about this logically, it doesn't make any sense, okay? So if you're just getting back into the gym, take a step back. I encourage you not to do a lot of heavy barbell lifting, okay? I encourage you not to try to put the same weights on the bar or hold the same weights that you were holding when you were in your prime. Take your time, work back up to these weights. You'll avoid injury, you won't burn out, and you're just gonna feel a lot better. And then another example, which I sort of mentioned earlier, is having an idea that there is a perfect plan, a perfect diet, a perfect training plan out there. Maybe you have some idea of what this is. Maybe you think, oh, I have to do the keto diet, or I have to go, training program like 531 or Westside or something like that, if you guys are familiar with those things. And if I can't do that thing, which I know is the best, then I might as well not do anything at all. So again, this is really silly. You don't need to chase a perfect plan. If you're not doing a lot right now, or you feel like you're eating poorly, you feel really weak, you feel out of shape, just do something that you know will move you forward. Most of us don't need some high-level expert to tell us what we need to do to take just the next couple of steps forward. Most of us know the most obvious things that we're eating that are problematic. We know that there are some things that we could do for exercise that would feel good, even if they're not the most ideal or the most technical. So do those things. Don't wait for the perfect time to chase this perfect plan, because it just doesn't exist. Everybody will respond differently to different types of plans. So there's no need to wait. There's no need to feel like if you're not doing that one thing, that you won't get good results. So just to kind of summarize, perfectionism is basically this idea that if you can't be the best at something, or you can't follow the most optimal plan, that you're not going to get results. You might as well not even try. You're a failure. And those things, they're not true. They keep us down. They keep us from reaching our goals. They keep us from moving forward and making progress, even if that progress is slower or doesn't take the form that we think it should take. So don't wait for the perfect plan. Don't force yourself to do a diet that's incredibly restrictive and doesn't give you any room to navigate the challenges of your daily life and your social life. Don't follow the same training program that you were doing when you were in your best shape or you felt your strongest, because you probably won't be able to do it right now. It doesn't mean that you'll never get back to that point, but you need to be smart and you need to just do something to move yourself in the right direction. So if you guys have any questions about this, I'd love to hear from you. This is something obviously that's kind of personal to me, and I would love to help you work through some of your own issues. If you can relate to some of the things that I'm talking about, feel free to shoot me a DM or pop into the comments. And then also, if you like this kind of information, I do have an email list, and I make sure that you'll be up to date with all of my blog posts. I have a newsletter where I send out some stuff that I don't post anywhere else. So I'd love for you guys to sign up on that as well. I will post a comment in a link in the comments of the Facebook Live, and if you're watching this on Instagram, there's a link in my profile that you can follow to sign up there. All right, guys, have an awesome Thursday. Take care.